Retirement villages. Two words that in our society carry with them some less than desirable connotations. They're seen as places that you are put, without your input, to live out your days. Shane Jacobson is out to prove that the R word is just that, a word, challenging the misconceptions that we have about retirement village living. This is episode 4 of the R word, made in conjunction with Stockland Retirement Living.
Over the past few weeks, we've been talking to a lot of experts about some of the benefits of living independently in a retirement village. But I think less talk, more action is a pretty good rule of thumb. So we're sending our 69-year-old retirement village skeptic, Carmel Salo, out on the road to get amongst the real action. Later in the program, we'll parachute in on a spot of golf practice and a high-stakes mahjong tournament happening out at MacArthur Gardens in Campbelltown. But first stop on the itinerary is a visit to Cardinal Freeman, Stockland's inner-city apartment development, which, as you can hear, is in the midst of construction. It turns out that as Mark, the village manager, was giving them a tour around the site's heritage building, Carmel realised that Cardinal Freeman actually confirmed her at St Mary's Cathedral back in the days when he was just a bishop.
They get a great view out towards the city. The top ones in this building here will actually have great city views and the Harbour Bridge views, but there's a great view out over, because you're quite high up here, you don't realise the elevation. But this will be where the new clubhouse facilities will be in there.
How many residences will there be?
Above that is 40 units,
right.
And there's 57 in these two buildings, and then there's another 160 to be built through. And it'll take us to 318 independent living units here.
Right.
It's going to be fabulous when the gardens are done. And
yeah,
the
absolutely,
chapel
and you get the view back into the chapel. We'll just go into the lobby of the new building.
Yeah. It's interesting too that I've found, I was working full time. I stopped working about 4 years ago. Now I'm working part time, but I had really strong relationships at work. And it's interesting how much of you is defined by the people that you're working with. And when you stop working, all of a sudden your persona doesn't exist. The persona that you've been used to doesn't exist anymore. I think that must be really difficult.
You lose a bit of purpose.
Yes.
Whereas that's where people have come in here, they've been able to not only make new friends, but they're enjoying the interaction with the community and getting involved in activities.
For Carmel, watching the bulldozers knock over old brick apartment buildings at Cardinal Freeman knocked over a few of her misconceptions about the retirement living accommodation.
I think the most surprising thing was how modern those new units were and how beautifully set out and well thought out they were. The wide corridors, for instance, going into bedrooms that would be accessible for people that weren't so ambulatory, for instance. They seemed so fresh. I mean, you sort of think of places like that being a bit stale, have a stale aspect to them, but they weren't at all. They were really fresh and smart and modern, and the kitchen was brilliant. It did seem almost much more like a community, the way it was set out, than just a whole bunch of units and things with a central area where they meet. It just seems a bit more than that. It really seems like more emphasis on the village part than the retirement part, in a way, if you know what I'm saying.
Aileen Stewart is Stockland's Regional Operations Manager. She says one of the draw cards for many people considering retirement villages is the potential to make new friends and become part of a close-knit community.
Most of our villages will have a community centre or a central hub which draws residents into the village, where they undertake a number of activities, from bingo, mahjong, game of indoor bowls, through to monthly dinners and regular happy hours. So it's a great space for people to come and connect with their neighbours.
Out at MacArthur Gardens, where there's a bit more space, gardening is a source of pride for most of the residents, and people can opt in or out or do as little or as much as they like. What surprised Carmel was that the inner city development placed an equal premium on having green space.
Are you interested in gardening? Is that something that you'd look for?
Yeah, I love gardening. It's a bit of escapism and it's good for you anyway, but it's fun watching things grow, and not only to pick and put in a vase, but also to pick and eat as well. In an inner city area, yes, that does surprise me. I would have thought that would be more something that would be outside of the city. They seem to be very well organised as far as that's concerned. The layout looks centralised and easy to access. And I believe Graham Ross had been there that sort of assisted in the way that was developed. They've obviously thought about it a lot. And the fact that people can sort of go off on holidays, you know, just in and out, and all they have to do is just say, can you watch my unit for me while we're away? And they could be away for 4 months or whatever. So it seems like quite a few of the residences actually use it as a base for a whole range of other activities that they're doing. And they can go away and feel totally secure that the place is being looked after while they're away. They don't need to have any kind of extra security or anything like that.
Is that something that you think would be quite beneficial? Is that something that would worry you about staying in your own place?
Absolutely. You've got to arrange to have, you know, the mail not delivered and newspapers. You've got to make sure the garden's kept in order and, you know, it's watered and that the windows are still secure and all of that sort of thing. So there's a big list of things you have to do before you go away.
And while Karma was off limbering up the brain and fingers for Mahjong, our producers went wandering around some of the on-site facilities and came across a golf practice range.
Wow. Can I ask you 2 questions about
a couple of questions.
this?
Yeah.
Is that right? What's your name?
John,
John, hi, I'm Claire. So you're down here playing a spot of golf.
just practicing. Got a bit of a game coming up on Saturday, and I'm totally out of sync, so I need to get back in the sync.
Do you do this often?
No, I come up here. Well, I haven't played for 12 months.
All right.
I think I come up here 12 months ago. So this is the first time for 12 months. When I come here, I expected to be up here every week, but it never quite worked out that way.
It's good that you can use this.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm only up here because I don't want to embarrass myself on Saturday, you know. But I'm sure I will embarrass myself, don't worry.
Well, I better let you get back to it so you
keep it down to a
can...
minimum. You know, I've only bought 3 clubs up, so I don't have to cause too much trouble. But I'm looking forward to playing. I just enjoy it. I've been playing since I was 12 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, I've played quite a long time.
Oh, you'll be right then.
Oh, well, I used to be able to play all right. That's then, and that's not now.
Well, I'll let you keep taking it out on the net.
These golf balls get a pounding, I'm telling you, Claire.
Thanks, John.
All right, nice to meet you, darling.
Likewise.
Directly beside John at the golf nets is MacArthur Gardens bowling green, and above that an enormous clubhouse where people come to eat, drink and partake in a spot of gentle exercise, or, as it turns out, some pretty serious games competition.
We have a travel club in this village now, and a few people have gone away on a trip to China and then a cruise. Now we've got to build the walls, and all the walls have got to meet up so that the spirits don't get out.
Oh, crikey, there's spirits involved.
Oh, absolutely.
This is a lot more serious than I realised. What kind of spirits are we talking?
Chinese.
You were thinking on the lines of rum or gin.
A little bit of tonic. So tell me, how long have you been living here?
2.5 years.
Ah, and what made you move in?
Well, I was by myself and things kept breaking in the house, and I thought, I can't take any more of this. And I had been thinking about coming to a place like this, yeah.
Yeah. Were you local?
Oh, nearly. Mount Pritchard I came from.
Southwind, and I've been here 5 years.
Oh, wow. South Wind in 5 years.
Southwind in 5 years.
Was it the South Wind that brought you in?
It was.
And how are you enjoying it?
Oh, look, coming here was the best decision I could have made. I do advise my friends, though, not to come here because before I came here 5 years ago, I wasn't taking a pill. I've been near death doors twice. In hospital 3 times. It must be in the water. Don't take any notice of me, I'm just joking.
Maybe we won't put that bit in.
Oh dear, no, but I love it here.
And obviously, so you two are here playing Mahjong. Do you get involved in all of the activities all the time?
Yes, I go to a few things.
Did you know each other before?
No.
The couple of ladies that have moved in, I've known from my other craft groups that have moved in here since. You know, there's no reason to be lonely here. You can come up to this cafe, as you've seen today. You can come up at any time. There's always somebody here to talk to, have a cup of coffee with. It's really, really good.
Go tonight.
And do you find that you are here definitely more social than you would have been if you'd stayed at home in your own home?
Definitely. And because I have been sick a couple of times since I've been here, because it's in the water, I found that The support that I got from my neighbours was just tremendous. I would not have
So
got...
did you feel more secure as a result of that?
Absolutely.
Right, okay.
I would not have got that in my old house because the neighbours... Because I worked all the time, I didn't know many of my neighbours. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. Yes. The problem is when you work.
I knew my immediate next door neighbour, and that's it.
Yeah. Everyone at work knows you, but they're not there anymore.
No, that's right. That's right.
Did you know much about retirement living before you came in?
Not a thing.
Oh, okay.
Not a thing. I was living at Macquarie Fields. I don't know if you know Macquarie Fields at all. I had lived there for over 50 years and it just got too busy because I lived opposite the shopping centre. They extended the shopping centre and put a garage in there. So I thought, I've got to get out of this place. And the house in the yard was too big for me. I'm picking this one out. Is that okay with you?
That looks like my cake. Put that one back. And how about you? Did you know much about it before you came in?
No, I had a rough idea of what it would be like.
Sort of finding out information about it. What was the beginning point as far as that was concerned?
Seen some advertisements in the paper. There was a leaflet with different retirement villages. That's where I first seen that one, but I didn't come then. I kept coming back.
So how long before initially thinking about it and actually making a decision was there?
Couple of years.
Couple of years, okay.
Yeah, it took me a while, yeah, but I had visited other retirement villages and while they were nice, they were too far out. The location is why I'm here. It's just so handy to everything. I can't remember whose turn it is now.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure I've got mahjong. Look at the look on her face. Oh, these Chinese spirits are going to get me. Okay.
Next week, I'll get Carmel on the phone to have a chat about some of the more surprising things she's learnt about retirement stereotypes over the course of the series. We might even round up one of our experts to come in and answer any niggling questions Carmel has about the best way to plan for whatever's next. Until then, I'm Shane Jacobson, and this has been The R Word.
Thinking about retirement? With 65 retirement villages around Australia, Stockland knows retirees are looking for living options as unique and varied as they are, which is why Stockland created Retire magazine, your guide to retirement village living. Learn what Retire Your Way really means. Get tips for choosing a home for now and the future, and understand the costs involved. Call 1800 72 71 70 to order your free copy or visit retire.com.au. Stockland Retirement Living. It's your place.